Hello everyone. Welcome to Leo History. I'm Adam, as always. And today we're going to be playing Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which, as you can expect, is totally and completely and utterly accurate. No questions asked. Ignore the guys with horns strapped to their face. But before that, I just want to pause for a quick moment and before I get into all the silliness that will ensue, and extend worry and support to both people evacuating from Hurricane Laura right now and to those in Kenosha, Wisconsin protesting police brutality. Black Lives Matter, and stay safe from that hurricane, because oh boy, that's scary. Now, that being said, we're going to take a quick break from all of that news for the next couple hours, and we're going to play Tabs. This is a game by Swedish developer Landfall, and just so everyone knows where we're at, I unlocked all the characters, but I have not done most of the campaigns. I just zipped around the map with a guide and unlocked everything so we could talk about it. Indeed. What a strong beginning. And yes, clearly it is in the name. It is totally accurate. Therefore, we trust it. We trust it. Let's hop straight in, because obviously there's not a whole lot to do. I'm on the Epic Game Store version, by the way. I think the 1.0 update just came out on Steam a couple weeks ago, but it has not on Epic Games yet, and that is where I am, so. Let us do this. These will all be silly. We'll just do a bunch of them, and we will see how badly we can break everything. Wow, that is a weird resolution, but neat. Okay, we have a bunch of people in trees. Looks like they are playing as the caveman faction, which when we zoom way the hell in so it motion blurs like crazy, you can see is mostly just people with hair and skins and random animal bits strapped to them. Good times. We could play as that too. We could throw our bone mages at them with our 3,000 points of shenanigans. We could also just drop a mammoth in and call it a day, but that seems boring. Viking? One Viking. Who would win? Oh, thank you, Jubilant Liar, for the 100 bits. I appreciate that a whole lot. Enjoy. The VOD will be up on YouTube, as always, shortly after the stream ends. Yeah. You can catch it all there and catch all the delightful silliness we are going to do. So, who will win? An army of cavemen in trees? Or one Viking boy? Dramatic camera spins. So, this guy is Ullr, one of the secret faction units. And as you can see, totally accurate. Don't worry about it. Don't question. Oh, ow. Don't question why his axes have are double bit axes with the 2 bits on the other sides. We lost. An army of cavemen just beat a god. Just actually beat a god. Congratulations, Ullr, you're a bad unit. So, as you can see, the physics sim is a bit silly, but this guy here, who I pulled up, Ullr, is super interesting in that this is a kind of ridiculous portrayal of the very few things we know about him. Ullr is in fact very dead. Let me just pull up the thingy here. So, in the Prose Edda of Norse mythology, he is said to be a son of Thor, but there is basically nothing known about him, apart from he is vaguely associated with archery and skiing, according to Snorri, and otherwise there's like a whole lot of not. Indeed. That's a bit expensive. And yeah, so instead of being an archer, like, you know, his, like, I don't know, Artemis would be another secret faction unit, he just gets double axes, and at least they're not they're not double-headed double-bit axes, which would be ridiculous, but he just yeets them around, and also he has axes in his helmet instead of, which is clearly a reference to wings, like Thor here has. Thor here has actual wings, but that is coming out of the tradition of Richard Wagner, which should, you know, be fun and weird. So instead, you know, we are going to play with Uller didn't work, so we're going to send his dad in and see how that goes. But we will back him up with a Valkyrie. We're Vikingologists here, what can we say? They are kind of chainsaw bayonets, aren't they? Indeed. A Valkyrie and a Bone Mage. Because, you know, it's a thing in Norse mythology, right? That they have people with animal skulls? That's totally a thing, right? It's not a thing. Despite the number of video games, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, that portray Vikings as using animal skull things in ritual cults, there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that. So, instead, we shall flail around with swords and lightning hammers and whatever the hell this is. Thor, calm down. My god. He's gonna trash them. This is not gonna be close. The Valkyrie just got freaking wrecked. Theoretically, I can play as people. Thor got wrecked. Thor got wrecked, guys. Yeah, so Thor got dunked on, so that didn't work. Well, this is not going according to plan. So, let us instead... Wow. Okay, by the way, I'm noticing some frame drops in the thingy. This is not due to my internet, this is just that this game is not well optimized. So, the frame drops are happening on my end too, and there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Unfortunately, we cannot call in Odin Veleth. He is not a unit in this version of the game. So, no chances there. But yeah, instead we are going to pull up 10 snake archers, who do not have bows shaped like snakes, or anything sensible like that. No. They shoot snakes. Whoop, look at them. They shoot snakes. The snakes get absolutely, oh god, run away! Run away! Ha! Got ya, snakes. Ow. I died. How's the rest of the squad doing? Turns out, I am the only one who died. I can probably make him, yeah, once it updates to the full release, we'll be able to make units and can actually do more. But right now, we're stuck with the units we have. Which is still a lot of units. So yes, the ancient faction, for some reason, has, snaky bows. that shoot snakes, just around. I wonder if there are still any rolling around. Nope, all the snakes went away. They just shoot snakes. And so at some point we are going to be reenacting the death of Ragnar Lothbrok before the stream ends. Indeed. And here we go. We have a whole bunch of new guys. And these guys are from the farmer thing, which is vaguely medieval. Though the hay balers being people who put themselves in bales of hay is a quality touch. These pitchfork guys though are very medieval-esque, specifically like probably, I don't know, 14th century, because you can see they've got this hood with a long tail, which is known as a leer pipe. That long tail is an incredibly like later medieval thing. It's the later you get in the Middle Ages, the longer and stupider that gets. So, we are still here. We are raiders. Raiders use longships, right? Right. I think it's correct. And since they fight us with hay, we fight them with cactus. And maybe some bombs. Don't question it, we're gonna use bombs. The spooky category has skeletons, other skeletons. Oh no, his everything was busted. Oh no. Other skeletons. Look at how cute they are. Horrifying monstrosity made out of candle wax. Beautiful. Perfect. And then, you know, swordcasters and stuff. Eventually you get the Grim Reaper, but, you know, it's not even as cool as... What is some of the secret? There was a secret guy who's cool. Oh yeah, Vlad. For a low 1,000, so, oh, I deleted the longship. That's not good. You know, Castlevania cosplay? Longship plus Vlad. Where is he? Nope, overshot him. Come on, where are you? He's in the secret category. I know he is. I lost him. Somehow I completely lost. Oh, there he is. Vlad. Sadly, we cannot put in the cavalry, but in the Renaissance, we can put in jousters at least. But what else should we put in here, chat? What else should we put in? We've got our longship and we've got Vlad. Cast tank win? No, we can't actually do that. We can't do wolves. We can do raptors. I think that's close enough, right? And moral support. Run. The raptors will decimate the whole army, though they kind of fed. They kind of fed really hard. And there's the ship. That is I can confirm that is precisely how raids work. Yes. Vlad versus like 4 guys. So he just batters them to death with a freaking stake. Who's not dead yet? I mean, I know you're not dead. I see you there. I respect your attempts. So this guy is clearly based on, like, the one very famous drawing of Vladimir Tepes, commonly known as the Impaler, but the ruler of Wallachia for a time. And meanwhile, the Vikings have horns. But, you know, the name says it all. Totally accurate, so turns out Vikings have horns now. Vikings have... Sadly, we cannot afford the Dark Peasant in this mode. We only have 4,000 points. We just don't have enough points for all the shenanigans that occur when we attempt to actually do anything with Indeed. Great neighing sounds. This horse I'm concerned for. I'm deeply concerned for that horse. Oh, Viking Mischief, just that he's Vladimir Tepes, the ruler of Wallachia for a time in the 15th century. But only for a time. The Fellowship needs more hobbits. That horse had a day. Meanwhile, Frodo Baggins, and a dragon. Held in a wheelbarrow. Friendly nobody, you are probably getting actual static. I would still try refreshing, but this game lags quite badly because it is poorly optimized. So, sometimes frames are just dropping and it has nothing to do with my internet. It is just that the game lags. Now, we shall play as our knight, as the hobbits get freaking dunked on. Oh no, that is atrocious. No one can see anything that is happening here, right? No one can see anything. So that was awkward. We, messed them up, but yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do about this. I am trying to keep my computer as cool as possible so that it actually runs, but there's not a whole lot I can do about it. But that's okay. We can still look at the things in the freeze frame and can talk about them that way. And you can just enjoy the chaos that is doubled by the amount of random crap and blur going on the screen. Actually, let me also go into the settings here and see if I can turn things down here. Oh, that's why. Sorry. I know why many things happened. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try that map again. Cause I bet it runs a whole lot better now that I am not running it at 4K resolution. Neat. Give me just a moment to fix that, because that is super neat and should not have happened. There you go. This is why I should check my settings for every game I play. Yeah, I was running it at 4K resolution on a GTI or GTX 1050. That's on me, guys. It should actually run now so you can actually see it. So instead of watching the cavalry do whatever heck there is, we're going to make Overly Sarcastic Productions proud, and by having not one Sun Wukong, but 2 Sun Wukongs. Oh, look at how much better that is. You can actually see what's going on. Oh no! Oh no! Yes, Furby, that is a good description based off feeling the temperature of my computer right now. It is in fact my GPU is the bonfire in which we shall all roast marshmallows and sing Kumbaya, or something. Good job, Sun Wukong. That was scary. He may be overpowered, which is... Is it Sun? It would be Sun Wukong, wouldn't it? Yep. I did actually study Mandarin for a while, and I screwed that up anyway. Ah, yes, indeed. Final destination, Halfling. Well, this limits my abilities somewhat. I can't even afford a samurai. What such silly options do we have? We could go for a poacher and nothing else. I could fight 2 halflings with 2 halflings. This will be a time. Let's go. We shall keep punching him until he eventually maybe dies. This is silly. This is the dumbest thing. Oh no, my friend died. I'm in trouble. I'm being held. Huh? This was truly the dumbest thing available. Shall we, play with someone else now? Huh? He didn't die. Oh no. That's not great. I did not think this through. I wonder if I can put him somewhere else. I can. You are all screwed. Where the heck were you shooting? I cheated. Perfect. Poacher good, guys. Looks like this is... I mean, it's very... very much New World, looks like, just based off the aesthetic design. He's one of the legacy youths, which means he's from an old version of the game. But just off this rough design, he's definitely looking like he is a supposed to be a poacher in the Americas. It's probably sometime in like the 17th century. This is not looking to me very medieval. Which, you know, my training is a medieval historian, so maybe I would know. Yep. I have not played a whole lot of this game, obviously, so I don't know when everything came in. What horrors can we inflict upon this team of halflings? See... Nothing could go badly. Nothing can go badly. Well, oh, and by the way, UV4H5, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it a whole lot. So yeah, they have an actual army of halflings. We are reenacting the Scouring of the Shire here, in all the horror of the Scouring of the Shire. We cannot inflict Sauron on the halflings, sadly. We have no way to do that. We have a lot of very cool things, but that is maybe too much copyright infringement for them. And there is a whole lot. Now these guys are from the Dynasty map. If I remember correctly, though East Asia is by no means my specialty, the Hwacha is a Korean weapon that basically is combination fireworks and arrows. So you light the thing and then it's basically fireworks launch all the arrows off this way. And it is a time, though. Though they did remarkably well in the end. Oh, well, we lose. We lose this fight. Even though the halflings are all really bad, so we're not in too much danger, but at the same time we have no close range attack. Kaput. The halflings were too good for us, because they just missed everything. Indeed. So what else can we do? Well, we could run a bunch of knights at them. Or maybe just generic archers. Generic archers, generic archers, generic archers. And a bunch of shield bearers. We are cheating, definitely, by combining medieval archers with their leer pipes and not longbows, but still bows, and then Roman legionaries holding their shields. We shall wreak true horror upon them. Oh, and by the way, we need a pump up. Moral support. Well, our archers all just started being really, really bad. Look at how many halflings there are. This is appalling. What can we do against such unrelenting force? True, Fabi. We are playing totally accurate Battle Simulator, so everything we do here, I can confirm 100% happened in history, for sure. This is the Battle of Agincourt colorized, in an alternate timeline, where the French win. I believe in you, Bird. I believe in you. I believe in you. Birds throw themselves off the cliff. Then again, against this horrible sight, I think I would throw myself off the cliff too. Well, we did better that time. But I think you are correct. It is time. My god, the gunslinger. Look at that hero. Absolute mad lad. An absolute freaking mad lad here. His guns have guns. I think we did it. We are the best. I have nothing creative to say about that mammoth. He is simply historically accurate. Indeed. Well, I wonder if we can lose this fight. Kurabaki, I have an actual tank. It's just a bit too expensive for right now. But I wonder if we can possibly manage to... Actually, I know exactly how we can throw this fight. Who will win? 3 ballooners? Or a bunch of scaredy cats? Oh yes, and a peasant. Oh god, that was horrifying. The peasant, I'm not really sure what the peasant's deal is. They're so scary. Nothing can climb ledges in this game. So, look at our Renaissance era balloon men. They don't even get to blow up any balloons. They're not gonna do anything. Oh, there we go. Bye! Did they survive this? They survived this. Meanwhile, my peasant walks off the cliff too. I nearly managed to throw that. Ballooners are a throwaway unit from the Renaissance faction, as you can see by their very poofy sleeves with 2 colors and their lace ruffs. Though they are, of course, early ideas of flight did in fact try to use balloons. Either balloons or model on birds' wings, as kind of the 2 ways that were realistically thought to be able to get someone to fly. Mostly birds' wings. Turns out that was a bad idea, and balloons were actually the much more effective option. Okay, what do we have this time? That's a lot of Bone Shaman. That is a whole lot of Bone Shaman. And again, like, these guys here, I mean, they're using human skulls as oh. What's your problem, dude? I just want to apologize to the headhunters who got to this guy. Cause, oof. But yes, we have here the idea of course, early, like, Neolithic or caveman type things. Of course, have these very loosely animal worship, animal cult type things involving lots of bones, lots of skulls, lots of other weird shit. Which is something, like, being serious about the, his quote-unquote historicity in this game, it still ends up being really interesting, because a lot of this is a mix of pop culture references, and so a mix of pop culture references and the cultural memory about this thing. Or about these time periods. So what are the things people think of when they think of this time period, with no real regard for how things were, simply looking at how they potentially wanted, or what are the stereotypes associated with each time period. And so, for the Renaissance, you get a little, like, big fancy tournaments, a mix of firearms and swords, a great art, and... Oh, I need to delete these guys first. I'll put them back. And the Da Vinci tank. Hey, eyeballs! We don't have enough to truly go for a tank, but we could go for the Da Vinci tank. Da Vinci tank and a jouster. Nah. Actually, if we're going to go guns, let's go guns, guns. Guns, 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 guns. The Da Vinci tank is amazing. So, we've got these musketeers, which are actually harquebusers. They're not actually using... Oh. Well, actually, no, these guys are conquistadores, so they might actually be using muskets at this time period. I thought they were a little bit earlier, but no, these are Spanish conquistadores with a very distinctive helmet. And so they are actually using muskets at this time period. And yes, inside, Leonardo da Vinci, ladies and gentlemen. Just one dude getting absolutely dunked on by his own invention. Well, I'm talking about stuff. I'm doing a little bit of both. I'm just, you know, I'm overwhelmed by the sheer amount of historical accuracy in this game. Now, we have to fight one caveman. Again, look at the stereotype here. Bones on his arms for armor? Question mark? Rat-tatted fur loincloth, no hygiene whatsoever in the hair, and a big-ass club. Versus a squire, who is very much Crusading era. If we take a look at him, he has this great bucket helmet, great helmet. I am absolutely going to talk about history. Don't worry, eyeballs. We're talking about the Crusader right now. But if you have any suggestions on things to talk about, I make no promises in that I am a medieval historian, and talking about modernity is hard. But if you have any questions, things to talk about, etc., we can absolutely talk about those while enjoying all the silliness. But so for the squire here, you can see while he's got a tunic instead of tabard, he still has that red and white iconography with a cross on the front, very much an idea of a crusader when we think of it. And this helmet is so distinctively the first, really, two crusades. But dominantly the first crusade, still in use in the second and third crusade. So this very much fits that iconography. He is in fact shaking in fear. Anti-freaking... Come on, caveman. I can throw this. I believe. He nearly killed himself by falling on his head. Okay, well, turns out swords are better than clubs. Well, notice this guy has basically no armor, except for his gauntlets and his helm. And greaves, but he has no central body armor, which is not great, not optimal. And in battle, while squires would be on the battlefield, their main job, per se, was to assist with the care of a knight's equipment, and to kind of assist and learn the role of a knight from them. So, one role like this is pretty unusual, pretty weird. Eyeballs, yes it is. It is really crazy, but notice he did not control it particularly well. Given that, you know, the moment he lost it, he's just gone. The tiniest attack. Who are you? You are one farmer. I have 38 points to deal with one armor? That can't be right. That can't be right. Oh, indeed. I see you. Well, we are facing scary forces here. Let's take a look at the knight here. Then, since I am a medievalist, I will continue to talk about the Middle Ages. And so, we see a progression here of a, we couldn't afford the Da Vinci tank. It's 4,000 and we only had 3,800. But in our medieval faction here, we have a progression through time, as it turns out, because our squires are very much looking vaguely 12th century. Crusader era. Well, the later guy, the knight, keeps the shield, and his sword is super jank. His sword is basically a gladius, but he's got the full body armor and cape, and a visored helmet of a very Renfair type, but still something that you can see in like the 14th or maybe into the very early 15th century, but I'd say primarily 14th century. And then you have the king, who has the slit sleeves that you would expect from a Renaissance faction unit, and the ermine-lined cloak, but is too short for truly a medieval cloak. And then this greatsword. And this thing, which is a Zweihander in later terminology, though that's a rare term in the 15th century, is 15th century. So this is right on the border of the Renaissance. And continues to be used well into the Renaissance. Because turns out the thing it is super good at is clearing space. Oh, I'm noticing a problem here. Yes. I will freaking wreck these guys. I'm being attached to one guy, but... Oh, I'm just swinging it around. But if I can get that, there we go. That cleared like 4 guys at once. Let us assist our friend knight. And then the knight shall assist us. Indeed. So, we have the king. Being a good king, he is of course bearded. Because that is just part of the stereotype for some reason, though that is changing. But yeah, he's looking very, very 15th century. And so it's just, you know, it was a weird development in time from squire to knight to king. Actually moving forward through time and where our stereotypes of it come from. Our great googly-eyed king. Murderer of, don't ask how many Frodos. Now, we face a bunch of very basic guys from across time. So we have our cavemen. We have our farmers, who are vaguely medieval. We have our squires, who are slightly more medieval. We have our shield bearers, who are clearly looking at like late Republic. No, maybe a little later than that. Classical studies is not my forte, so if I'm getting dates wrong here, this is clearly, I would say like late Republic, early Empire legionnaires, but I don't know. And then our Vikings. Exactly, Viking mischief. The king has a beard, because kings have beards. And he has a greatsword, which is great for clearing space. Anyway. Our response? Then we have our first actual Viking units as enemies. These guys are the Headbutter. For some reason they have pigtails. but no armor, except this helmet with a frontal nose guard and a spike on top that they can use to ram people. Why the heck this is a unit, I have no idea. But that's okay. We shall see if they can successfully defend against the skeleton army. The skeleton army. Let's get our spook on, guys. Well, the skeleton warriors were not very good. Turns out. Turns out the oh god, the headbutters. Vikings are better than skeletons. This may have been obvious to all of you, but apparently the solution to the skeleton army is Vikings. Well, that's no good. We need bigger guns. And thank you, eyeballs, for the follow. Sadly, skeleton Vikings appear to not quite be an option. We can do bear Vikings. Bear Vikings. We can do lesser Vikings. Or we can stick in the Middle Ages. Yes, we could do a Choconu. A Choconu could be fun. Yes. And someone to protect the Choconu. Skeleton Vikings seem to not be an option, but we have maces. This armor is super basic. Like, this looks to me... Basically, once again, we see kind of a bucket-type helm. Nothing very fancy about it. But with these armored shoes and raves, I'd say maybe like 14th century, with a slightly later period mace, but 2 of them. And infinite power. Infinite power. Oh no. We cannot spin to win. We can't spin to win. It's horrible. We might have to go for cheaper things. Fine. I dare you to attack my line of stuff. A line of stuff. Long spears should be good. Sarissas, and then some firework guys. So we can do explosions. As long as they hold together, they should be quite effective. Or perhaps not. The power of the Sarissa seems a little bit lacking. Well, we are struggling. They did not hold together. Well, my suggestions seem to be failing, guys. Yeah, this is pretty tricky, turns out. Well, see ya, eyeballs. I hope you enjoyed this. Hmm. And that is too expensive. And that the king is fine, but he is not strong enough. The Scarecrow has been nerfed into oblivion. The Dovahkiin. Depends on how long these guys' cooldown is. Nope. They do not do enough damage. Well. Alright, see you guys. And so that did not work, so... You said the barrel rollers do damage over area. Ooh. Let's see, they are in this one. There you go. Spread, spread, spread. Spread. And a headbutter. And kaboom. Well, that did not work so well. We need to spread them out more. Oh wait, these are all headbutters. That's not who I wanted to send in. Barrel roller. Barrel roller. Barrel roller. Barrel roller. Oh. Barrel roller. Kaboom. Kaboom. Hey! Turns out, the physics in this game is just super wonky, and the solution is to keep running it until it works. Well, only dual wielders. So we have some bone warriors, or as chieftains, and some berserkers. Berserkers are a thing I can actually talk about. Actual history. We could send 5 trillion peasants, though I suspect that fight would take a long time and kinda suck. So, berserkers here. What's weird is that the berserkers, despite their name literally meaning bear shirt, are not the people with bears on their faces. It is deeply confusing. Instead, they are our very stereotypical, like, Viking guy, wielding 2 axes, wearing no armor, braided beard, and horned helmet. While this guy, being a Yak, has the weapon of a Huskar, or houseman or retainer, called a Danax, or a bearded axe, with this very long bit on it. These guys are pretty cool, and this is a weapon that is used in the 11th century primarily, which is kinda neat. I do know where they get this idea from, despite the name meaning bear shirt, most likely. This description of them as bare-chested guys who do things and go crazy and worship Odin comes to us from Snorri Sturluson in the Ynglinga saga and the beginning of his history of the kings of Norway, where he describes them as generally not wearing armor, but he describes everybody as not wearing armor, so that's not necessarily the best description in the world. Quick draws. We got some guns. I don't know. Dying. We need a front line. We have no front line. Rome shall protect our people with bullets. Wow. That is quick. Like, fair play to them, that is super quick. Pew pew pew. Pew 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 pew. Pew pew. So I mean, obviously the Wild West faction comes to us out of, you know, mostly Western movies, the historical, which are themselves derived from mix of samurai films and things like Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West Show. Or, sorry, Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. These are not, these do not line up to the lived experience of people living in the Western United States in the 19th century, well, at all, but you know, they are rad as all hell, so we take that. And, you know, totally accurate. Uh-oh, Final Destination? With a farmer? Uh-oh. Shield Bearer. Rome versus a farmer. The might of Rome is on the line. What is the point of this gigantic frickin' shield if you move it out of the way the first time a guy tries to stab you? Like, dude. Nope, he loses that one every time, apparently. We shall move him 3 inches to the left, and that should solve our problem. Nope, he's just bad. Okay, neat. Breaking news, shield bearers are trash. Vikings are good. This is why Rome fell. Tacitus was correct. The Germanic people have this great spirit in contrast to the weak immorality of Rome of the 1st century. Oh, 8,000 people. We have 8,000 things, which you know what that means. We can do all sorts of stuff. Like, look at this ice giant. This is one of the secret units found in the Viking maps. And obviously, saying ice giant is basically a translation of a category that is maybe not meant for that. It would be a pretty literal translation of Hrimthurs, which is basically rhyme giant. Though, kind of how exactly to describe the difference between Thurs, Risi, Trut, and Jötun, the kind of the 4 words used at various times to describe giant-ish beings in the Norse corpus, is not clear at all. Jötun is often said like, oh, that's a bad translation. You're cheating. Hello? Blue team? You're cheating. So was sometimes said, though this is no longer agreed to, that Jötun indicates strength, Thurs indicates size, and Risi indicates something more noble. This is no longer really said to be real or true, but it is still interesting that, you know, Hrimthurs, ice giant, could be entirely literally translated and give you something like that. Could be Longship time. It could also be Da Vinci time. These hoplites don't stand a chance. They're in a confined space. The Phalanx was not designed for such, Though, like, fair play to them. They're doing way better than I thought they would do. Like, you know, Sparta stands strong, or something. There still is one standing. They tanked that. They tanked that real hard. These shields apparently I underestimated how good these shields were, and the strength of the forearms of these Greek soldiers underneath them. Maybe 300's reputation is well deserved. Maybe they were just that badass. I mean, they dealt with cannonballs, so, you know. It's a strong piece of evidence. Final destination, Sarissa. Well, I can't even get a fencer. But I can get a Sarissa. Who stabs the other first? I apparently lost that? Despite the fact that that spear hit my leg. That spear hit his chest. I lost. I refuse. Fall damage. Gravity OP. Please nerf. We'll just keep running this. Honorable duels. What? What? Oh, I did kill him. Okay. It just counts draws against me. Meanie. Yes. No one said I had to play fair. Poachers cheat. Well, they're a good unit. Rest in peace, Poacher. You shall be missed. Ah, yes. Past the bridge. Well, they're playing Protect the King, so they have a bunch of shields, and then a bunch of scarier shields, and then a bunch of shields, and then a bunch of scarier shields, and then a king. Well... how do we bust through this? Too many Vikings to count? We will make my computer lag with how many Vikings we shall put on the field. Oh no, what do you think, guys? Do you think we'll win? 9, 18, 27, 36, 37 versus 44. Yep, my computer's lagging, because it's trying to render too many people at once. There we go. Look at those sweet, sweet frames. You can count them all, every individual one. What a mess. Did we lose this? We lost this. This is in fact Stamford Bridge colorized. We were Haraldur Harðráða. We got wrecked. Damn you, Harold Godwinson. We need to go stronger. Indeed. Well... is that stronger enough? Nay. What we shall actually put to the test, though, instead of just cheating with divine oomph, is whether samurai are in fact said to be better than the rest of everyone else. Any weaves in the chat, walk away now. Unless if you win, in which case you were right all along. It's not looking too good, guys. For anybody. Because, well, the king is doing... Well, the samurai did good work. There's a lot of health bar, and that king has a very large sword. I mean, I could spam conquistadors, but I think bullets are a little bit too strong in this game. And also, Zweihander's... Turns out a Zweihander is better than a katana. Such is the way of the world. Turns out, no matter how many times you fold the steel, it does not do much good against a sword twice as long as yours. Yeah. I mean, there's also this option. Now let's see what other spooky we can do. Swordcaster, swordcast. Nope. Yes, swordcaster. How do you cast swords? What is your secret? I don't know what your secret is. You just cast swords. Well, that went well. Should probably spread them out a little bit more, apparently. Nay. Legacy. There we go. There we go. Kaboom. Uh-oh. This is gonna go badly. Indeed. Watch as he casts swords more. The swordcaster is pretty good. He's stun-locking the king at least. Don't know if he'll win, but he's stun-locking the king. He did kill the king. No, he did not kill the king yet. The king has fallen into the river. Newsflash, the king has fallen into the river. This dude. Poor guy. Well, the other swordcaster got flung off the edge of the map. We accidentally created a space program, despite the fact not using a single ballooner. Huh. The chosen one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, here's actually a little bit more history, which, by the way, if you want someone to talk more competently about history, then while playing this game, then you should check out the Public Medievalist on Twitch. Their last stream, led by the founder and editor, Paul Sturdivant, was playing this game also and talking way more competently than I'm doing. So, yeah. I do just need to kill the squire. Snakes. Snakes shall wreak havoc on this entire squad. Gotta say, turns out all of the healers is kind of a weird gimmick. But if you are... This definitely is a weird thing coming out of D&D, I think. Where this idea of monks, because these are monks, as... Come on, just chuck the rock at him. Seriously? Indeed. Well, he shall lose now. Anyway, there is this weird idea that Dr. Sturdivant pointed out, that, you know, these are clearly monks of some flavor, Not a very subtle flavor. And yet they are, by virtue of doing weird magic, healing people. Which is, you know, a fair play. It's a very convenient gameplay mechanic, especially coming out of D&D, where you have clerics literally drawing on divine power, which is a really strong, really strong image and cool design. But while monks were healers in that they physically did medicine, and in that that included both physical bodily health and spiritual the health of the soul, they are not actually casting weird beams of light that heal people. Unbelievably. Not so much a thing. So we have some harvesters, and a couple of jarls, and a king. These guys are going to hit like a truck. Zeus is 2000. Let's see how they do against all of the lightning. I forgot how little damage Zeus does. That's not a lot. Zeus is kind of a chump. Thank you. I was not going to make the joke, but I appreciate you making the joke for me. Well, we have conquistadors and we have minotaurs. Huh. And are they ready to reload? Yeah, they are. Except that they missed. Muskets are not very accurate. As much as I might wish it, muskets are just not very accurate. Please fire. Well, that didn't go well. Two of them got dunked at the same time. So, how much space have we got? Not a lot. But 4,000 points is a lot. So, what is our solution here? We can go snake archers, or we could go ice archers. Snake archers are more expensive? Yeah. Can't kill all of us? Is that a valid strategy? Can't kill all of us. And they throw the ship on him. Squish. Oh yeah, that would make total sense that he'd be... that his lightning would be really good against those shields that just refuse to die. Well, they are now bricks. The entire squad is now ice cubes, including my own dude. I turned my own guy into an ice cube for the sake of the army of death. So another fun thing here. These guys, archers, have gotta be kind of meant to be Laplanders, which makes sense again with spooky ice magic. So they're Sami people, as opposed to being Norse. It's interesting that they are making that into the cultural idea of the Vikings instead of, say, axe throwing like Ullr does. But archery is just not a huge thing in the Norse part of the Viking Age. Yes, of course. You just don't need that much, words. Words are hard, guys. Archery is not all that common. It's by no means unheard of. Lots of people did have bows, and it was a hunting tool. But, especially in like saga literature, from which a lot of our idea of what it means to be Viking comes from, archery isn't so much a thing. And with spooky magic things, instead of just big guy hit hard, It's my interpretation that those guys are supposed to be Sami, who are always depicted with bows and skis. Can you stand up? He cannot stand up. Can I take control of him and stand up? Nope. Awkward. Well, that's a grim reality right there. He wasn't dead. He just has fallen and he can't get up. There we go. Turns out, getting curb stomped by a falling Viking apparently does damage in this game. I have no idea what the physics calculations are in this, but my god, are they a mess. Wait, what did it not... Wait, did I die? I thought I killed him. There we go, killed him this time. Indeed. Bard. We appreciate we recognize the Monty Python references and we appreciate them. No, they're perfectly accurate, Angry American. It says it in the title, we believe the title. Therefore, this is a perfect representation of real-world physics. Valkyries. I like that they are giving these Valkyries wings, even though that's a kind of weird thing on the face of it. Because apart from Valkyries often being described as traveling through the air in things like Dara Verliod, a poem at the end of Njal Saga, which has a big prophecy and stuff and things. It's a very good poem. It's just very weird. There's also what is its name? Where it's Wayland's crap. I don't know why I can't words, but or I remember what the Norse equivalent to Wayland is. Oh, Vulander. It's Vulander. In Vulandarkviva, the titular Vulander, who is not a good person, let never be mistaken that Vulander is anything resembling a good person. He falls in love with a swan maiden that had come down to bathe and taken off her feather cloak and turned into a woman. This is probably referring to some kind of, at least concept related to a Valkyrie, if not directly a Valkyrie themselves. And so, being able to turn into a swan, having these big white swan wings, it works. It totally works for these, though I think that is despite it clearly not being what they are intending, it is still a neat and worthwhile thing. Yes. Foolish cavalry charges? Foolish cavalry charges. Well, one of them made it, and so we should win this. However, this guy is a knight just on a horse. And knight but on horse is... turns out very good. Yes, indeed. It starts so well. And then... I can't get into his face. We'll have to deal with this. I was trying to show you his face. But no, the horse will have to do. Uh-oh. I think they're all in the cave. But it sounded like there was a lot of them. And we are 5 points too short to actually throw in a tank. So we shall engage them in open warfare, using the best suited tools for open warfare. the chariot. And helping the chariot, we shall have a bunch of hoplites. We are now playing the Trojan War. This is secretly Troya Total War Saga. We have our chariots, though this is a Roman design. Actually, well, I say Roman, a Ben-Hur design. With this, I think it's a Centurion with that sideways crest, but don't quote me on that. So we are mixing our Greek and Roman, but chariots and the Iliad, they work. Let's go. Okay, our chariots can just dunk on these guys. That works too, I guess. Chariots are designed for open fields. Chariots are always designed for— oh god, oh no, I can't see. Chariots are always designed for open fields, not for this. I think the donkey needs some help. But yeah, chariots are like the premier, like, Bronze Age open field weapon. Turns out nothing about that was open field, which is not necessarily ideal. A balloon archer. Hilarious. That is actually ideal. Actually ideal. Is this guy going to drop? Yeah, he is. God damn it. He's gonna get himself killed. He's gonna get himself killed. Hello, Raptorus, and thank you for the 50-bit cheer there. I appreciate that a lot. So we are— I'm just gonna try that again because the balloon archer is hilarious. But balloon archer apparently can lift away shields, which is exactly the thing I needed. And maybe I can get a better shot on this guy. That is an arrow to the back of the face. He's gonna— oh good. Oh good. Bye. Have a nice time. Lots of stuff. Mostly, whatever nonsense this is. It's just more of the same nonsense. Once again, they cheat. They cheat very hard, and my solution is to say, screw your cheating, I have 360-degree shenanigans. He crunched real hard. This might actually not work. I'm proud of the squires, but 360 degrees of coverage. No, we do still win this. Naturally, Da Vinci's tank was definitely able to be constructed and worked exactly like this, and not at all, was not at all a impossible to build thing that had no mobility and like 2 guns on it. Nope, Leonardo da Vinci. Go spin. Haha, tank go burr. I think haha, tank go burr. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everyone say hi to the goddess Artemis. Watch as she ruins everyone's day. True, we still do have 2,000 points. You know, maybe I should do Gatling guns instead. Gatling gun, Gatling gun. Gatling gun. Oh. Gatling gun? I have no idea if this one will be useful. So, Gatling guns are kind of atrocious, in that they are horrifying machines of death. Once they get going. Oh, well maybe not if they're shooting like this. I thought they were actually going to be, you know, doing stuff. Not just getting absolutely dunked on. There we go, this guy wound up. And he just fell over. My guy. Well, that did not work at all. I thought that would be a little bit more, spectacular. You know, a little bit more like this. A lot more like this. Look at how many arrows she shoots at once. Truly, this is why she is good at hunting. She's not accurate. She just has literally all of the... Why are you walking up to them? She just shoots all of the arrows at the same time. Is there another... Okay. Everyone ignore as the corpse slowly sinks through the floor. Everyone ignore that. Bye. Well, the Goddess Artemis still has a chance to lose this. Nope. Yup. Yup. Mammoths going extinct somewhere in Siberia circa 5000 CE. What should we do this time, chat? What horrifying shenanigans should we inflict on people this time? 5000 is not enough for a tank, sadly. But we can do many things. I like your style. But it should be medieval. Catapult. Catapult. Catapult? Catapult, catapult. Oh. Well, I apparently get outnumbered with this. 1, 2, no, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This shall be an interesting endeavor. As they stop all the things shooting in midair. Okay, we're up even numbers this time. Still even. Though I fear that they may not be even for long if this crunch works. That went well. Get that went well. That went poorly. So, turns out that's not a super viable strat. But that's fine. It is beautiful. It is without a doubt beautiful and terrible all at once. We shall line the rooftops with muskets. This is unwise, because, you know, horrible death shall await these guys, but that's fine. Oh, I am out of oomph. Let's see how they do. Well, they killed 4 things at once. And meanwhile, that guy is apparently Apparently Narnia is what he perceives of as a threat. He just blew himself up. This guy apparently thought, like, I don't know, Over the Edge of the World into freaking Narnia was the only place that merited actual effort. Fair play to him. Like, if that's what he thinks. Oh boy. Final Destination Berserker. Well, the balloon archers. What? Oh, that's why. Raptoras. This is why you do not use 2 axes. Turns out, dual wielding is unwise with weapons designed for that, and axes are most certainly not that. Historical lessons from Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. Don't dual wield, you numpties. Ooh, 7,500 points. Who needs skill when you have an actual tank? Huh. So, a bunch of guys in wheelbarrows just killed a tank. If anyone wants to run that one by me, you're welcome to, and I'll go. Cactuses. It's it is the poor late Civ 4 Doomstack all over again. The wheelbarrows run at us as the Cactus Army. The Cactus Army is not very good at killing things, but it's also good at not dying, so... As yes, Evil Bob Ross. Cactuses. There's one dude. I'm proud of you. Who remains? Where is he? My guy. What an exciting time it is. Cactus armor. Apparently good? Apparently good. The more you know. Oh boy. And look at that, we are in the Middle Ages, which, by the way, on the aesthetics of this, it's really telling of what we think of as medieval, that this is in ruins. Like, this is clearly a crenulated wall, so some kind of fortification, but it's in complete ruins. And that's a really interesting idea, that our stereotype of medieval castles is ruined. This old ruin thing, even when they, you know, were not in the time period whatsoever. In fact, if it was, you know, would be in some amount of trouble. Sadly though, ruined castles are the perfect place for spookiness, which means that they have to deal with the Grim Reaper, who, despite being nerfed, is still good. It lacks any of the sheer, obliterating power that it used to have, but, still good. Still hits very hard and absolutely melts these knights. My guy. Exactly. They were built ruined. Just like in A Plague Tale Innocence, where the Alchemist Freemason Castle thingy stuff that we are at and we will see again on Saturday was definitely built ruined. There's Well, though, I think, though, with the last 20 minutes here, we're just going to go back to the main menu here. Instead of continuing with any campaigns, we're going to take a look at just each map quick. Maybe. And just take a look at kind of everyone in each faction. And just kind of roll with it. Let's go to Medieval 2. Medieval 2 has the castle, which is a very fairy tale castle with, you know, the Cinderella thingy climbing up over the top of it. Very much, or Sleeping Beauty, more. Or Jack and the Beanstalk, or something. That the Middle Ages and folk stories very much overlap in conceptual terms. So, first things first, I wish to reenact the death of Ragnar Lothbrok. According to Ragnar Saga Lothbrokar, when Ragnar Lothbrok heard of the success of his sons raiding in Germany, he grew very jealous and decided that he would, in order to win more glory than they ever would, he would invade England using 2 ships. 2 entire ships. So, you know, let's give him those 2 ships. We have given him the 2 ships. His wife, Randalin, also known as Auslaug Brynhildardóttir, the daughter of Brynhildr and Sigurður Fafnisbani, warned him against this, because it's an obviously stupid idea. He did not listen, though, and his ships were destroyed, and he was captured by Ella of Northumbria. Now, we know this didn't happen because Ella was not king of Northumbria at the time this was supposed to take place. He actually was an upstart who deposed the king and then immediately got killed by Ivar Bainlacy. So, he got captured, and he got brought up to Ella, and Ella asked, "Who are you?" And Ragnar refused to answer. And refusing to answer was like, well, crap. So they threw him in to a pit full of snakes. But he was wearing a magical shirt. This magical shirt was so greatly magical that that the snakes could not harm him. So they took off the shirt, and then they threw him back into the pit of snakes, and then he died. We have now reenacted the death of Ragnar Lothbrok. I may have gone a little bit overkill with the snake archers. Now, who should we fight next? What famous battles need, oh, of course. The battle. the Battle of Agincourt. Man, you sure know that you paid for these units. Indeed, this turns out to be some kind of terrifying alternate reality in which French knights beat English longbows. Which is fair, you know, fair play to them. The Battle of Agincourt went very well. Unfortunately though, Antonio, we don't have any way to do you know, the Ottomans. None of these guys, thankfully, would count as Ottoman, anything like what the Ottoman Empire had in the 15th century. Which is good, because inevitably it would be bad, but still it's kind of a problem. Kosek, I don't know that battle. I'm not a military historian by any means. But I have heard of weirder things than cavalry taking a ship by charging at the ship. I believe it. Luckily, all the guys from the Aztec faction are gone these days, which I think is for the best. Indeed. Cupid, you worry me. You worry me a lot. Well, that definitely helps their case. I wonder who is the best spin to win. I mean, besides the obvious. Obviously the best spin to win. But, nevertheless, we shall throw 8 cheerleading spin to wins versus 1 Da Vinci tank. And they shall spin to win. Or they shall instead cheerlead. I'm proud of them. Cheerleading. Well, that did not work. That did not work quite as intended. I expected that they would kind of spin with their pom-poms instead of just, you know, whatever the heck that was. So instead, 8 mace spinners. Well, they actually made it. They made it up to the thing. And yet nothing can beat the Da Vinci tank in pure spin to win potential. I think it's clear the Da Vinci tank wins the award for currently most effective everything. Exactly. Perfect until you realize you did not flip the gearbox. Whoops. Uh-oh. Cheerleaders and Da Vinci on the same team? Uh-oh. Do I want that kind of power? Oh yeah, I assume the cheerleader, if it is not actually spin to winning, it is a buff to spin to wins. Versus a cannon, a spin to win cannon versus a tank. Well, good job, cheerleader. Technically a spin to win? Well then. May anything defeat... Ah, not so scary a dragon. Still scary, but not nearly as scary. Still, honor. The most honorable of duels. Look at that. D'Artagnan versus also D'Artagnan. They're all named D'Artagnan. Disappointed D'Artagnan. But we can go more honorable. Their seconds may be their cheerleaders. As they cheerlead. No, don't kill the seconds. Well. Beautiful. I know, right? Turns out it is a suboptimal defense to use your rapier at your side while you take a nap. But, well, we need to be consistent in our testing, so we shall run it again to see if, in fact, the rapier is consistently more honorable. The rapier is without a doubt more honorable. It's true. Look at that form. Never before defeated. Now, I think we've got time for just a couple more things here. So, obviously, like, this is a very, very silly... very silly game. But also a very good game. Where is it? The Legacy. Pikes. Pikes, pikes. Pikes, pikes, pikes. Pikes, 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 pikes. Pikes, 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 pikes. This is why cavalry stopped being used in the 15th and 16th centuries. Mostly the 16th century. But still later, the back half, after 1450, you know, when this starts being a thing. The Swiss pikes are bad news for anything resembling a horse. And yes, they do seem to go for the stance of be as far away from the fighting as possible. Though not as far away as these guys do. Who shall win? Pikes are good weapons, but not good enough. Not nearly good enough. The blunderbusters are scary. I didn't notice that they were wearing actual barrels for armor. Actual barrels. I'm proud of them. But we are just about out of time. So, final thoughts, 11 out of 10. History has a lot to learn from this game. Truly, there is nothing like it. they're obviously still updating this game a lot, and, well, much more silliness to come. I don't think we'll come back to this anytime soon, obviously, because this was a very one-off of just kind of laugh at some wonderful, silly things, and maybe find some cool history things to talk about. Oh, duh, I forgot to say one thing I really wanted to about Olaf. Namely, that despite the fact that we know literally freaking nothing about him, apart from like 2 names and the basic hint from Snorri, place name evidence from Sweden indicates he was actually extremely popular as a god actually worshipped in the Viking Age, which is indicative of something, of the unreliability of our written sources for that time period, as other things provide fairly weak evidence, but still present evidence of a much more popular god than anything we have stories about. So it's neat that they put him in, despite calling that to mind, even if it is not a thing they necessarily meant to do by it. This is Ullr. Let me actually jump into a map here and throw him up. Lovely, lovely. Secret unit. Ullr. I guess versus soon Wukong. As these gods beat each other to a pulp. Despite being a god of as far as we can tell, a god associated with archery, and apparently pretty beefy. Despite being associated with archery and skiing and like literally nothing else, no stories survive about him. He may have been actually really popular in the earlier Viking Age. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed this, my rambling, and want to see more, on Saturday I will be playing more A Plague Tale Innocence, kind of keep going with that for another long stream, see how far we get. And then, since Monday is my birthday, I will have a special bonus stream then, though I'm still working out exactly when that will be. I need to not schedule it on top of other things. But there will probably be a bonus stream on Monday, where I'll actually be playing probably Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, continuing with that series from before I went on hiatus. So, additionally, if you like this, do make sure to join my Discord server, which is going into the chat right now. And follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/LudoHistory, and subscribe to the YouTube channel of the same name, to be notified of when future streams go live and to be able to catch all the VODs. Additionally, any support you can give with follows, spreading the news around, or subscriptions are incredibly much appreciated. They help me do this more and do this better. So yeah, that's all I've got. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. As I said, history has a lot to learn from this game. But military history would be much more enjoyable if this is what we had to deal with. So, I hope you all have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you all on Saturday.